to solve the Rubik's Cube with 2 moves. First, turn the right side clockwise 90 degrees. Then turn the up layer anti-clockwise like this. And then keep doing that. Okay. We've seen videos like this all the time. But have you ever wondered why they don't work? In this video, I'm going to be explaining why the 2 move scam doesn't work and why also. Okay, so when people do this trick, they will often just do the 2 move sequence. Okay, if you actually do the 2 move sequence, you can see we're only turning this R layer and the U layer. And this 2x2x3 block is not getting affected. So if this were actually to be scrambled, and if we only turned these 2 layers, these pieces wouldn't be moving, and they're still not solved. So that kind of gives it away. Because if you're not turning those layers, then how are you going to solve it? How do they magically solve themselves or whatever? So I think that's kind of obvious, but I feel like there's a more interesting point I want to make today. If we had like a 2x2, let's just scramble this up. Now, obviously, doing this is just rubbish and will not work. But let's say we solved 2 pieces next to each other like this. Then if we did this, then technically, it could work. Because we have this layer and this layer. They are both moving. But most of the time, it does not work. But the thing about the 2x2 is that it's a lot more smaller. So, I mean, it could work, but chances are you'll end up in another scam. So, I just want to tangent off into a little subject or a concept called the devil's algorithm. What is the devil's algorithm? Well, we know what God's number. God's number is basically the amount of moves to solve a Rubik's Cube, and that's 20. Now, the devil's algorithm is basically an algorithm that can basically, if you took a scrambled Rubik's Cube and just try to use that algorithm to solve it, it would work. Like, somewhere along the line, it will work. And devil's number is basically the number of moves in that algorithm. So, there is no devil's algorithm for 3x3 at the moment, or not even for 2x2. There is one for 2x2 with double moves, but I might explain that in another video. But why am I bringing the concept of this? Well, you know, I'll just use the 2x2. You know that on the 2x2, if you do these 2 moves, so we're solved, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we're back to solved. So why just repeating the same moves? Why doing that does it just go back to solved? And even, I'm not about to do this 63 times, but if you did the RU prime 63 times, it does go back to solved. So why is that? Okay, we're gonna go into a mass magic trick. Alright, here's a pretty cool mass magic trick I want to show you. Now, I promise, I'll get to the point later on. So, I don't know, pick any 3-digit numbers, the first step. So let's pick 197. That's actually the amount of subs I have at the time of filming this. So 197. So basically what you want to do with this 3-digit number, arrange the digits so you get the biggest number. So if we arrange 197, the biggest number we can create is 971, and then create the smallest number. So the smallest number we can write is 179. Okay, and then we subtract them, so this equals 792. Now with this new number, you want to do the same thing. So with 792, we can create 972 and 279. So now we just want to do that, 693. So now we want to do the same thing. 693, we can do 963 and 369. 594. And then if we do the same thing, 954 minus 459, we get 495. Now, if we do this again, so what would it be? 954 minus 459, we get 495 again. So, we've basically taken a number, we basically traced it back to 495. And the trick is, no matter what number you start with, you will always end up at 495. Go, try it with any 3-digit number. Just keep doing it until you end up at 495. Point proven. Okay, so how does this relate to this? So basically, you realize that there aren't an infinite amount of 3-digit numbers. They're a finite number. There's only about 900 of them. So if we were hypothetically to go through every single number, well, if there's no finite amount, then we'll go to every single number, and then we're going to have to go to either one. It will either be some sort of cycle, so we'd either have like this, and then it goes back to here or something like that, or we're going to have this like one point that just loops back, and in this case it was the 495 thing I was talking about. And just a little bonus thing, if you want to do this with 4 numbers, that's alright. The number you will loop around is 6,174. So again, how does this relate to this? Now, if you do anything on the 3x3 apart from like a rotation or whatever, it will change. So you're not going to have things that just loop over by themselves, but you are going to have cycles of positions. Remember, think of the numbers as like the go through all the possible numbers. Think of it as going through all the possible combinations. There are a finite number of them, but they're not, yeah, they're finite. So basically, if you were to do the same thing over and over again, like, it would come back, because there is not a finite number. It might not, if you start from a solved cube, it will always go back to a solved cube. Yeah, if you start from a solved cube, always go back to a solved cube, or basically whatever you started with. If you start doing it, there will be. So like, if you start from here and you go here, there will be no cycles that go through here, because if this was a cycle here, then this could be a cycle here. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but essentially what I'm trying to point is that whatever you do on the Rubik's Cube, basically, I'm not going to do this forever, you know, but it will always go back to what it started from, because it is not finite, and all cycles, it will just do the same thing. Like if I did an n-perm on this, it will always do an n-perm, not something else. If I do this, it will always do that, not this or whatever. So if it like does this, if it does a cycle within the middle, then the cycle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really could have happened like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, it shouldn't happen near the middle. Like, it should happen at the start. So hopefully I didn't confuse you. Alright, so summary. Basically, there are only a finite number of Rubik's Cube combinations, so eventually you're going to get back to where you started. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm almost at 200 subs, so please subscribe, and I'll do a Q&A at 200 subs. And hopefully a live stream if I'm allowed to anyway. Alright, see you next time.